play here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington on Easter Sunday, 2011. C.J. Wilson with the first pitch of the game right there to Mike Aviles. And it's in there for a strike. Right off the glove of Adrian Beltre, who was playing in.
Yeah, I don't think Adrian even saw that ball.
And let's take a look at the Royals batting order. Following Aviles will be Cabrera, Gordon, and Butler, with Francoeur batting fifth. Wilson Betemeets the DH today. Pena's back in at catcher, Escobar at short, and Chris Getz, who's been the leadoff man the past couple of nights, will be in the 9-hole. This is Melky Cabrera. And he shows bunt. He was 3 for 4 yesterday. And here's the scouting report on C.J. Wilson.
4 starts. Record is solid. ERA is solid. Coming off an excellent start against the Angels. Walks are down. Getting ground balls, which you expect him to get. One would come in handy right here. And he pitched really well against Kansas City last year. Had a couple of starts against Kansas City. In fact, he had his only complete game against Kansas City last year. That was a game against Zach Greinke, 2 hours and 9 minutes, fastest game at our ballpark last year.
And that one's in tight to make it 1-2. And the pitch from C.J. Strike 3 called. Cabrera watches that one go by.
The one before it, the 0-2 pitch, could have been a strike. That was pretty close to the inside corner. This is the 1-2 pitch. And as you see, it's a strike, no doubt about it.
First out of the inning. And the brooms are out here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Rangers have already swept a couple of series here in that 6-game homestand at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, the Rangers had won the first game of the last 3 series and then lost 2 straight against the Tigers, against the Yankees, and then against the Angels. But they reversed that trend by winning yesterday.
And with that series win against the Royals yesterday, they handed the Royals their first series loss of the season. They had won 3 and split 3. They'd had 3 splits. And the runner goes. Throw. Napoli. Safe.
Big jump on CJ that time. Aviles was going at the first sign of movement. He got a really good jump. He had a good sized lead too. Napoli makes a pretty strong throw. In fact, an excellent throw. Just didn't have any chance to get Aviles after the jump that he got.
29th steal of the year for Kansas City. That's best in the big leagues. And so now it's CJ continuing against Alex Gordon. Quick look to second base. Gordon in the midst of a 17-game hitting streak. It's a career high for him. And that one's fouled. As we take a look at how the Royals have stolen the most in the American League and even in the big leagues. San Diego comes in with 27 steals at this point. Kansas City 2 better than that.
Yeah, that trend started in spring training. They led all of baseball stealing bases in spring training as well. And you have to think when they put the team together in the offseason, that was one of the things they had in mind coming into spring training. To score runs, they'd have to run the bases. take advantage of the talent they have on the team, and that's what they've done so far. They get a lot of doubles.
Vilas was running again, and that one's fouled off into the seats. As we take a look at the Rangers defense, which is a little bit different today than it's been the last two. The outfield configuration a little more normal with Murphy, Bourbon, and Cruz. Adrian and Andres Blanco over there on the left side, giving Elvis a day off. Ian and Mitch back on the right side, and Mike Napoli is behind the plate for the 11th game he's played this season. And now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and CJ has gotten one guy looking and one guy swinging.
CJ against the Angels in his last start struck out 9 in 7 innings. He's off to a good start as far as the strikeouts go in this game. Good breaking ball right on the outside corner.
And Gordon, who's been hitting everything, couldn't touch it. That'll bring up their cleanup man, Billy Butler. He's been the DH in the 2 previous games, but Billy's at first base today. He saw a modest 5-game hit streak come to an end yesterday. And the 1-0 pitch in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Butler's got 16 walks this season, 4th in the American League. He's a discerning customer at the plate. And that one's a little inside. C.J. Wilson had his big charity event at Splitsville in Arlington on Thursday night. Raised lots of money for worthy causes, including the C.J. Wilson charities. And now it's 3-1 to Butler. Fouled out of play to make it a full count. It's 3-2. Crowd awaiting the payoff pitch, and here it is. In there for a strike. C.J. Wilson struck out the side to start this thing off. Here come the Ranger bats in the bottom of the first. Ron Washington's batting order for the day is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Kinsler, a change in the number 2 spot with Mitch Moreland, followed by Young, Beltre, and Cruz, Mike Napoli, David Murphy, Andres Blanco, and Julio Bourbon back in there as we check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, Mitch Moreland has had all of his appearances come in the bottom third of the order, except for one. He says, however, being in the 2-hole today, nothing will change.
You know, I'm still going to have the same approach I've been having, try to grind out at bats and, you know, do something positive at the plate. That's going to be the same approach I've had, you know, whether I'm batting 8th or 7th, 9th, or in the 2-hole, you know. So looking forward to it.
And a lot of positive coming from Mitch so far, batting .315 and hitting safely in 13 of his last 15. And that is today's Geico quote of the game, gentlemen.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. 0-1 pitch to Ian is fouled off. It's 0-2 to the Rangers leadoff man. And another foul straight back and out of play. "13 wins for the Rangers this year, 13-7 overall. That 13 win total has them tied for first in the American League with Cleveland. And that one's outside from Chen as we take a look at the scouting report on Bruce Chen.
He's had 4 starts. They've gone well except for the first one. The last 3 have been great. He's tough on right-hand hitters probably because he's got a good changeup. Gets a lot of fly balls, which may not suit him well in this ballpark. We'll see how the wind is carrying. But if you take away his first start against the Angels, he gave up 5 runs in that start. In his next 3 starts, he's 3-0 with an .085 ERA. So he's been just about untouchable in his last 3 starts.
But Ian Kinsler touches him for a single there. Ian stopping at first base after the solid shot into the left field.
Chen is a little bit like Jeff Francis, both left-handed pitchers, both of them with below velocity-wise average fastballs. They depend on command of an assortment of off-speed pitches, and that's the same way Chen is. For a kid who's only 33 years old, he's been pretty well traveled. He's been in 10 different organizations, been in professional baseball since he was 16. This is his 17th year of professional baseball. Had a stint with the Rangers back in 2007. He's only had 1 time in his career. That was with Baltimore in 2007, where he was really in a rotation all season long. He was in Kansas City's rotation for about the last 4 months of the year last year and did an excellent job. And so really for the first time in his career, he's established himself in an organization as one of the guys that they're confident in, can go out there, give him 33 starts and do a good job for him in the rotation.
Ian Kinsler on the run, and Mitch Moreland hits it in the air to center field. Ian scampering back now to first base, and he's in there, and the ball eludes Billy Butler, but Ian stays there at first.
That's a long-range throw by Cabrera, so it's hard to throw it right on the bag and be accurate. But I think if that ball was accurate, Ian had a chance to be nipped at first base. Fortunately, the ball was a little bit off target.
Brings up Michael Young.
Rangers have 3 left-hand hitters in the lineup: Moreland, Murphy, and Bourbon. And sometimes against pitchers like this, Jamie Moyer type pitchers who aren't hard throwers, that throw a lot of off-speed pitches, managers feel that the left-hand hitters have just as good a chance, if not better, than the right-hand hitters do.
Ian's on the run again, and he's in there safely at second base.
And our graphic showed that right-hand hitters are hitting below 200 against him.
And Wash said one of the reasons to put Mitch Moreland up there in the 2-hole was to break up those lefties down at the bottom part of the order. See Ian in there pretty easily. look at the Ford leaderboard, and we'll see the league leaders in batting average. Bautista with another home run last night and a 371 average, followed by A-Rod. And then Michael Young at 366. Just a little bit ahead of Sam Fuld, a rookie in Tampa Bay. 0-2 pitch is fouled away. Adrian Beltre is on deck for Ron Washington. Ian Kinsler now in scoring position for a team that ranks second in the league with runners in scoring position. The Rangers are hitting .316 in these opportunities. And Michael Young hits this one high in the air to right field. Jeff Francoeur has a beat on it and makes the play. Ian's tagging, and he moves on to third.
Batting forward, the third baseman, number 29, Adrian Beltre.
And here comes Beltre.
Bruce Chen came to spring training last year as a non-roster player invited to camp. Started the year in AAA. Got called up to the big leagues and didn't make his first start until the end of May. If you go back into last year, he's working on a 7-game winning streak. He's been a good pickup for them. One of those pitchers who, I guess right now you'd say he's a late bloomer. He really never established himself with a lot of different organizations, but he's getting a good opportunity with Kansas City.
Yeah, he went almost 4 years between wins. He had a win in October of '05. And then his next win didn't come until August of '09. And that is inside to Adrian Beltre. That's a 4-pitch walk to the Rangers cleanup man.
When he first got into professional baseball, he was a very highly touted young player with the Braves. If you looked at their top 10 prospect lists back then, he certainly would have been in that. He's from Panama. Been traded, signed as free agents a number of different times.
Nelly fouls the first one off, and it's strike one. Chen's grandparents are from China, but they moved with his parents, and his parents were raised in Panama City. Inside to Nelly, makes it 2 balls and a strike. And that one's in there for a strike. To make it 2-2 with Mike Napoli on deck. None of them actually fully in the strike zone as Chen works the corners. And a swing and a miss from Nelly. And the side is retired. Runners stranded at first and third. And here comes C.J. Wilson back out.
Happy Easter, everyone. Let's talk about Community Corner. And Community Corner today, we're talking about Get in the Box Foundation, great organization that helps out the youth. The mission is to provide funding for improvement to the physical and mental well-being of America youth, creates urgency and awareness to improve the lifestyles of the youth. If you want to get involved, you can do so. Just log on to getinthebox.org, getinthebox.org. A lot of families on Easter Sunday spend the day out here. Why not? They got the brooms out. There we go. Let's go, Rangers. How about it? All right. Wave those brooms proudly. There you go. John.
All right, Noxie, thank you very much. And we see the brooms there. And as we tell you to get in the box, Jeff Francoeur gets in the box against C.J. Wilson.
Remember one time in the old ballpark we were playing Milwaukee and we'd won the first 2 or 3 games of the series. A couple of fans had brooms. Security wasn't quite as tight back in the early days of the old ballpark, and there was a fan on top of the Milwaukee dugout sweeping the top of the dugout. And Gorman Thomas took a bat, couldn't quite reach, jumped up on the step and tried to whack at the guy with his bat on top of the dugout, as if to say, fine, bring your broom, but don't bring it in our dugout.
Don't sweep us up. I wonder if the Rangers completed the sweep.
I can't remember.
Yeah. That guy who was sweeping is still telling that story somewhere. There's a walk to Francoeur. So a leadoff walk by C.J. Wilson. And it brings up Bedamit. He's the designated hitter today. And his hitting streak came to an end yesterday. He had a 13-gamer rolling, but he was 0 for 4. CJ starts him off with a strike. Speaking of sweeps, the Royals were swept in their only series here at Rangers Ballpark last season. That was back in May. And the Royals have lost 7 straight games here, dating back to April of '09.
A lot of the games against the Royals here have been pretty close games. There's been several one-run games. I can remember the game last year where Joaquim Soria was in the game trying to save the game. I think it might have been the 8th inning. Josh and Guerrero both hit home runs into the bullpen in right field to tie it and then eventually provide the winning run against him. So they've been in most of the games, but Rangers have generally prevailed in pretty close games.
Including last night, which the Rangers won 3-1. It was 3-0 for so long it perhaps didn't feel as close as it was, but a home run on Alexi Ogando's last hitter, and suddenly it was a 3-1 game, and that's a strike called on Bedamit.
That's the same pitch you got Butler with. Butler thought it was going to be outside, so did Bedamit. But the cutter comes right back and catches the outside corner. That's a tough pitch to hit. It starts out outside and then breaks back to the outside corner. There's no way you're going to hit that pitch hard unless you're just diving out over the plate looking for it. Might be able to foul it off. But it looks so much like a ball that by the time you realize it's not going to be a ball, it's too late.
CJ chases Francoeur back.
I thought the key to last night's game was Ogando getting out of the first 3 innings. They had Kansas City had 2 men on in the first 3 innings, but couldn't get that big hit to break through and score. Ogando made a lot of good pitches. Got Cabrera to hit into a double play and a first and third, no 1-out situation early. And then after he gave up a leadoff double and a walk, they only had 1 single off him the rest of the game. He got all his strikeouts after that, too.
That one's hit right back up the middle. It skips off the mound and into center field. Pena is on. Francoeur at second. And it'll bring up the 8th place hitter, Escobar.
Fortunately, that didn't hit CJ in the shin or the ankle. That was a rope. So was the one that Aviles hit toward third base. Both hits have been hit hard.
Escobar was 1 for 4 last night with a steal. He's batted 9th the last 2 nights, but Ned Yost has him in the 8 hole for this day game, with Chris Getz behind him and on deck right now. Twelve strikes and 6 balls for CJ in the first inning for a total of 18. And he's outside to make it 2-0. There's a strike. Game 1 of the series, Escobar was 0 for 3 with a sac bunt. And that one's hit up into the upper suites and foul. She is excited.
She got to get her phone and call her friends.
Can't even get in the door. And that disappointed guy was actually 1 suite over, so he likely doesn't even know the little girl that got the ball. And this one's right on a line to Moreland. Francoeur is caught off and doubled off. And the Rangers are out of the inning. A double play to end it. And here come the Texas bats for a nice play by Moreland and Blanco. Dr. Pepper brings you a great deal for most April and May Rangers home games. Upper level tickets for only $10 or Lexus Club Terrace tickets for $15. Bring a Dr. Pepper or Diet Dr. Pepper can to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, or enter Dr. Pepper as the coupon code on TexasRangers.com. Mike Napoli to lead things off in the bottom of the second against Chen, who had 21 pitches in the first inning. Outside part of the plate to even things at 1-1. Mike started 10 of the previous 20 games.
A little bit different look from Chen. Came sidearm with that pitch.
That one's fouled off. Napoli was reached base in 3 of 4 plate appearances in his last start on Friday. And Ron Washington has a little bit more flexibility of using him now, since there's a third catcher, Taylor Teagarden, here.
Yeah, Detroit is in a similar situation, at least at the beginning of the year. I don't know whether they'll change or not. Victor Martinez. And they have used that alignment where you have the DH and the catcher at the same time.
Ron Washington was reluctant to do it because then if the catcher gets hurt, you have to go without a DH because the DH would have to catch, and Mike Napoli hits this one high and deep and gone to the back of the seating section in left field. Home run for Napoli, his 5th of the year.
And I guess you would say that that's going to the well one too many times. That's the third changeup that Chen threw to Napoli. He had him out in front of the first one, but that one came right toward the middle of the plate. And Napoli's able to wait on this one. Bad location, and he had it timed. Almost went over the seats in front of the restaurant in left field.
Again, one of the reasons the Rangers were so interested in acquiring Napoli is he is so good against left-handed pitchers as a right-handed hitter, and he proves it again there with his 5th homer of the year.
There's another sidearm pitch, which I think traditionally a left-hander would use to a left-hand hitter more than a right-hand hitter.
.402 feet on the homer by Mike Napoli. It's a long way up there to the back of that sitting section. And Murph slices this one foul and out of play.
There's a look at Chen coming more from a sidearm angle. I see it from a left-hand hitter's standpoint. Almost feels like he's throwing it from first base. Tough angle for the left-hand hitter.
That one's outside, evens things up at 2-2 to Murph. David's hit safely in 10 of 12 games against the Royals. And now the count runs full at 3-2. This one's cued toward the third baseman. Up with it is Aviles, and David is retired. It'll bring up Andres Blanco. Just his 3rd start of the year at shortstop. Ron Washington getting Elvis Andrus off his feet for the day. There he is, always with the smile on his face. Saw Tommy Hunter next to him. Tommy is headed to extended spring training by the end of the week. And this one's grounded toward third. Aviles again.
Yeah, some of the opponents in the extended spring program have a chance to see Tommy Hunter, Scott Feldman, Brandon Webb. They write home and say they're seeing some big league pitching.
Yeah, no question. Scott pitched yesterday a couple of innings in extended spring, and it is expected that Brandon Webb will pitch 2 innings extended spring tomorrow. And by the end of the week, Tommy Hunter will be there with him. That's Jamie Reed next to Tommy there, the Rangers head trainer. And this is Julio Bourbon taking a first pitch strike from Chen. Cues that one foul to make it 0-2. Rehydration from Mike Napoli. He had the leadoff homer here. And look at here, we got the Easter Bunny in the booth. The Easter Bunny threw out the first pitch at the game today. And who knew that the Easter Bunny had such a great arm? But there, look at there. Nice to see you, Easter Bunny. Happy Easter.
What
Thanks
an
for
honor
coming
to have
by.
the Easter Bunny up in the
Very,
booth.
very honored to have the Easter Bunny here. Tuxedo and all, and after a busy night last night, delivering all those baskets, here's the Easter Bunny hanging out with us. We appreciate him very much. Look at there, and that's our stats man Fritz right here. Fritz Deichert's doing a great job on a break from college keeping statistics for us. Bourbon grounds it to second. Getz has it. And the side is retired, but not until Mike Napoli led off the inning with a big blast. A 402-foot home run that gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead on the Kansas City Royals. Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance, and by AT&T. Ninth place hitter Chris Getz now against C.J. Wilson. And that's a first pitch strike. C.J. needed 16 pitches to get through the second inning after an 18-pitch first. And the second pitch is bounced to Ian. And there's one away.
Leadoff hitter had gotten out in the first 2 innings. Aviles led off the game with a single. Francoeur walked to lead off the second inning, but Getz is out here in the third.
Aviles hits this one toward Julio.
Taking 2 swings and hit 2 ropes. That ball that he hit to Beltre almost appeared that Beltre didn't see it very well. It was a line smash. Beltre's playing right in on the grass. Kind of went off the top of his glove. He had this stunned look on his face, like what happened?
reflex must have gotten that glove up, because you're right, it got there so quick. Not sure he ever saw it.
There can be times in day games where that kind of a ball comes out of the stands. Might have been an area where there's some white shirts and you just didn't see the ball as well as you might see it at night. Some parks are worse than others for that.
It's amazing how many places there are where it's difficult to see the ball. I was talking to Matt Trainer, who's had his first experience in the visiting bullpen, and he says as a catcher you can't see the ball at night in the visiting bullpen. This one's hit straight up in the air. Mike Napoli coming back and makes the play, and that is a quick inning for C.J. Wilson. 5-pitch inning for C.J. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals. And it's 1-0 Texas.
Royals 1-0. Michael Young off to one of the hottest starts in his career. He has played all 20 games for the Rangers and says still much work to be done.
I think there's actually a lot of things I still want to work on. I mean, I don't feel like, definitely don't feel satisfied. I feel like we're doing a good job scoring runs, and I'm happy to be, a part of that and in the middle of that. But there are a lot of things I want to get better at.
Michael, the only guy to play in all of the Rangers' first 20 games, says he's feeling good and sees no reason why he should take a day off at this point, guys.
Emily, thank you. There we go, Emily. Thank you very much.
I think having a chance to DH a lot will keep Michael fresher than ever and probably go through the season. Well, he doesn't want a day off even in the years where he's played in the field every day.
Infield hit there by Ian Kinsler.
That was actually a bunt that was too hot to handle for Aviles. He bunted it hard right down the third baseline. Aviles tried to barehand it, went off his hand. But Michael has done really well DHing. DHing will keep him fresh, keep his bat going all season long. Get a chance to play in the field frequently to stay sharp. So far, that's working out great for him.
And the loud bunt leaves Ian at first base. And here's Mitch. He's hit safely in 13 of his 15 games.
I want to thank Lindsay Swim from Richardson, Texas. She's the one, John, who sent up the Easter sugar cookies with the Ranger logo on them. Thank you very much, Lindsay.
And
very thoughtful of you.
Very thoughtful and great looking cookies. This one's grounded to second base. Gets with it. We get one and over to first for a double play.
Designated hitter, Michael Young.
And here comes Michael Young. Nice dig of that one by Billy Butler, playing his first game at first base in this series. Kaihue has been playing first in the other two games. And he had the home run for the Royals last night off Alexi Ogando. Michael's in a 13-game hitting streak. It's his longest since 18 straight back in August of '09. And he fouls that one back. There's your hits leaders. 3 of them in this game. Gordon, Young, and Cabrera all bunched together at the top of the hitting chart here in the American League. Not surprisingly, Ichiro up there as well. And a 1-2 pitch to Michael Young. Fouled off. C.J. Wilson with a happy thought on the bench as he reflects on that 5-pitch inning.
Yeah, he had a relatively long first and second inning, so that 5-pitch inning got him right back on track as far as his pitch count goes.
And the 2-2 pitch is coming to Michael Young.
Chen does all sorts of different things in his windup. He took his hands over his head twice on that last pitch. A couple of pitches before that, he stopped right at the top of his delivery and paused. Occasionally he'll come sidearm to right-hand hitters, which is a little unorthodox. Kind of just does whatever he's feeling like doing out there.
Yeah, that taking the hands over the head twice has fooled me a couple of times already. Is he ready to pitch or not?
There's just a quick windup. Almost
And
quick pitch to hitter.
Yeah, strikeout to Michael Young there. And so it winds up being a 1-2-3 inning for the Rangers. They still lead at 1-0, and we're headed to the 4th. for most Rangers April and May home games. And actually, we also remind you to take the Rangers with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.TV and see every Rangers game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. And now it's C.J. Wilson back out there facing the number 3 man, Alex Gordon. C.J. struck out the side in the first inning, including Gordon, who was the second strikeout of the frame and the only guy who struck out swinging. This one's grounded to Andres Blanco. And another quick out for C.J. Brings up Billy Butler. Billy, who was a high school teammate of Eric Hurley back in Florida. Both those guys were first-round picks. Eric now on the 60-day disabled list, and our hearts go out to him. Big swing and a miss from Butler. That it's a ball and 2 strikes to the cleanup man.
100 doubles since the start of 2009. No one in the big leagues has more than that. Butler got to the big leagues when he was only 21. Unusual for a young high school hitter. But he's a good hitter. He was a good hitter the minute he got to the big leagues. CJ's got his number so far.
Does he ever? Big swing and a miss, and that's back-to-back strikeouts of Billy Butler. And we check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Easter Bunny up in the booth. Now down in the stands, as you can see, John and Tom, the main attraction, handing out eggs for 13 and under right here. Look at this line. I mean, this little guy looks pretty big for a 13-year-old.
I just turned 13 last week.
Oh, very nice. Well, stay in line. Eggs for everyone. There we go. Happy Easter, everyone. Way to go, Bunny. Work that arm there. Way to go.
Yeah, Knoxy, we may need to check that guy's birth certificate on the 13, but I do like that the Bunny came here, didn't bring us anything. Got eggs full of surprises for the kids down there.
There you go. All right. Perfect. There you go, little guy. There you go, buddy.
Knoxy spreading good cheer as well as the Easter Bunny. And Jeff Francoeur turns on this one.
Go foul.
Launches it off the foul pole. A home run for Francoeur, and we are all tied up at 1-1.
Well, Francoeur's off to a great start. He's off to having one of the best seasons he's ever had. He had a couple of years early in his career with the Braves where he knocked in 100 runs, but he's hitting way over 300, right near the top in RBIs. That's his 4th home run. Waited on an off-speed pitch really well and just was able to keep it fair. Not a bad pitch. A pitch is down and in. Generally, a right-hand hitter is going to pull that pitch foul. But Francoeur was able to keep it fair.
This one's chopped over the head of CJ. Barehanded by Ian, but he can't hold on. And here's the Francoeur ball again. You can see it was hooking foul, but didn't quite get to foul territory. Mentioned yesterday that Francoeur lost 30 pounds in the offseason, and he just feels so much more athletic, and that was one of the things he was talking about. I said, where does it manifest itself? He said, turning on the ball. He says, I just feel like I can turn on it so much more quickly. And he turned on that one. Jeff and Matt Trainer have a little pact. They're going to both wear their American League Championship rings on the plane today. Try and show the Royals what it's all about, what they're playing for. They're both so excited to have gotten those rings Friday night. And very excited to, of course, been a part of what was a great run by the Rangers last year. They were both integral in that September run last year. Now it's 2-0 to Pena. There's a strike. He had the 3-run homer on Friday against Derek Holland that tied things up at 5-5. Rangers went on to score 6 more in that game, though. And now it's 3-1 to the Royals catcher. Everybody is a threat to steal. Wilson Betemit has 3 on the season so far, but that matches his career high. So CJ chases him back. And now the pitch. Grounded toward third. Beltre on a hop. Over to Moreland, and the side is retired. But the Royals tie this thing up on a home run by Jeff Brancourt. It's 1-1, and here come the Ranger bats. Wondering about the 2 current pitchers for the Royals who played for the Fort Worth Cats. Can you name them? We'll have the answer for you in the next half inning. Haven't seen either one of them yet is the only hint I'll give you in this series. And here's Adrian Beltre. That's strike one. Chen had his best inning in the third, 13 pitches after back-to-back 21 pitch frames. And Adrian hits this one high and deep and gone. A Lone Star long ball from Adrian Beltre, and the Rangers lead it 2-1.
That was almost the exact same pitch, hit in the exact same spot as Mike Napoli. To change up near the middle of the plate, hit just about halfway up in the bleachers over the scoreboard in left field. It might have been the exact same pitch, right near the middle of the plate. Beltre goes down on one knee. Mike's might have gone a couple rows deeper, but almost the same part of the park on the same pitch. Actually, a little more to the right and a couple rows back.
Swing and a miss by Nelly, and it's somewhat reminiscent of the Red Sox series when Red Sox pitchers were saying every time we made a mistake, every single mistake we made, the Rangers capitalized on. And they are capitalizing on mistakes, the few that Chen has made so far. Two solo home runs give the Rangers 29 for the year.
Yeah, speaking of the Red Sox, after that atrocious start that they had,
yeah,
they're leading the Angels 3-0. If they win today, they will have swept the Angels 4 straight and be one game away from 500. Tampa Bay won. They're at 500 now. Pretty good comeback quick in the month of April by both of those good teams.
Yeah, you didn't expect Boston to stay down long. I'm a little more surprised by the quick turnaround from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they're doing it with their pitching, which I think everybody thought was their strength.
There's Nelly Cruz with a slicing line drive into the corner in right field. And it's back-to-back extra base hits for the Rangers.
Like a breaking ball that stayed up a little bit. Nelly really didn't hit that as hard as he's capable of hitting it, kind of like the single that he got last night, but he slices it to the right part of the ballpark. Frank Coor can't get it, so Nelly doubles.
And Nelson Cruz is safe at second, safe and secure. New York life. Mike Napoli to second.
Good job by Mike going the other way with that hard ground ball. If you get it by the infield, you got an RBI. If you don't, at the very least, you come away with sacrificing yourself to move that runner to third base. That's why he's getting the high fives from his teammates. They appreciate the effort. You don't get those high fives when you go up in that situation and pull a ground ball to shortstop. You're looked at as more of a team player when you go the other way intentionally to try to move that runner. And you're talking about a guy that hit a home run his first time up.
But he sends Cruz over to third base his second time up, and it's the first out of the fourth inning. David Murphy slaps this one towards short. Now caught between third and home is Nelson Cruz, and he is tagged out by the third baseman Aviles. 6-2-5 on the putout, and Murphy's safe at first on a fielder's choice.
Well, big out for Chen. Man on third base, infield in, makes a good pitch, and David tried to slap it, get it through the infield, couldn't quite do it.
Violent dive back to third by Nelly, but he'd been tagged. Or had he? I think they just caught the jersey.
It looked like he might have gone out of the
Yeah.
baseline, but I don't think that's what the umpire called. Looked like he just called that he was tagged.
Nick Carapazzo over there at third base. And again, they chase Murph back. He's got 4 steals already this year after a total of only 14 a year ago. David Murphy is certainly a threat. And there he goes. They've got him picked off. Out at second base. So a couple of outs on the base paths for the Rangers there. But they follow the home run by Adrian Beltre. There's that knee follow through, and it's 2-1 Texas. Your AT&T trivia question. 2 current players for the Royals who played for the Fort Worth Cats. Can you name them? You may have remembered Hochevar, but Aaron Crow was there in 08 and 09. Crow from the University of Missouri is the first Royals player ever from Mizzou to have made it to the Royals. And now it's CJ against Escobar as we welcome Steve Busby into the booth. Happy Easter to you, Buzz.
Thank you. Same to you guys. Happy to be around for the Egg Day.
It is a great day here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. That wind blowing at least in a similar direction. Probably not quite as hard as it was on Friday night, but got a similar direction on that wind. Grounded to Blanco. And there's an out. We have not seen similar results from that win. Those cheapo home runs that got out of the park on Friday night to right field, that home runs tonight or this afternoon have all been to left.
I don't think Chen or CJ are allowing any balls hit up in the air. They're using the ballpark very effectively today. Granted, a couple balls left, as you said, in left field, but if you're pitching, especially if you're a left-hander in this ballpark, if you can put the left field part of the park in play, you stand a real good chance of having a good outing, because it's a huge part of the ballpark.
Now it's the 9th place man, Getz, working against CJ at 1-1.
And with left field as big as it is, Buzz, the Rangers should feel pretty good about having 3 lefties in their starting rotation.
Yeah, I think so, Tom. And You know, especially if they continue to develop the ability to throw down in the strike zone with all of their pitches.
Sure.
You know, like Alexi Oganda, now he would have trouble if he were left-handed and giving up those fly balls as often as he does. But left-handers that can turn that ball over a little bit. They keep the right-handers from really driving the ball the other way, and they're tough on left-handed hitters.
Swing and a miss by Getz, and that's another strikeout, number 6 on the afternoon for C.J. Wilson.
Yeah, a couple of the tougher guys in the league to strike out are Butler and Getz. Between them, C.J.'s got him 3 times.
And then again, if you're going to strike everybody out, you pitch into a phone booth if you want to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You play in a Little League park, I guess.
Kind of like Nolan.
Doesn't matter how big left field is if you're throwing those kind of strikes.
No. The other thing that helps C.J. and helps Matt Harrison for sure is they get a lot of ground balls.
Yeah.
And we've got a terrific defensive infield, so that definitely helps them there, too.
This one's in the air and sends Bourbon back, and it's on to Greens Hill.
Well, as we speak, there's a ball got up in the jet stream.
Yep. That one got wind aided.
First 2 home runs CJ's allowed. He only gave up 10 all of last year. One of the tougher pitchers in the American League to homer against. Hadn't given one up yet this year. But there's 2 of them. Like a high slider. I think Avila's hit it pretty well, but Buzz, you think he benefited from the jet stream?
Maybe a little bit, Tom. Avila's has pretty good pop. I think surprising pop. He doesn't look like it, but remember a couple of years ago when he came on the scene with Kansas City and ended up hitting about 320 or 325. Had a lot of extra base hits.
Now it's Melky Cabrera, the second place hitter. And he takes a strike to make it 2-1. He struck out in the first inning and popped it straight up to Mike Napoli to end that 5-pitch third inning for C.J. Wilson. Now C.J.'s at 72 pitches on the afternoon. 2 out here in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss by Cabrera. And that ends the inning. But the Royals get a home run. And we are retied at 2. $1 off a ticket they purchased to see the Rangers face the A's May 9th through 11th. The special applies to lower reserved and Lexus Club tickets, seating only. And there you see Andres Blanco turning and gone. A home run just inside the foul pole. And it's the day of homers to left.
Home run derby. 5 solo home runs. As soon as Kansas City ties it up with a home run, the Rangers come right back with one of their own.
You know about that left field thing, putting that in play, forget it.
Yeah.
We'll go to plan B.
Yeah. It's all right. As long as it's Chen that's putting it in play, we're okay with it. That was a first pitch homer.
What do you think of the sidearm delivery to the right-hand hitter, Buzz? Are you a proponent of that?
No, I'm not, Tom. You know what's more amazing? He doesn't know, according to him, Bruce Chen doesn't know when he's going to do it until he goes into his windup.
That's what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, sometimes he pumps his hands twice over his head.
I mean, you know, it's one thing to give a hitter a different look every once in a while, but holy cow.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the purpose of a sidearm delivery is to throw it lefty to lefty, righty to righty to make it tough to pick up. But when you do it to the opposite side, it's a pretty easy pitch to pick up.
Yeah, I would think so. A ball coming into you like that, and can't you see that ball better?
Yeah, I think you do, for sure. But like you say, every now and then is an element of surprise. Right. But that's, 6 or 7 of them so far today. I think the result right there with Blanco taking him deep pretty much speaks for itself.
That was just the second.
Andres.
Yeah, he's having.
He's got to come back down to earth after that one.
A little celebration after his second major league home run. His first came in 09. July of 09. That's his second one.
Yeah, no knock on Blanco. I mean, he's a good, solid player, but if I dropped down and he had a home run off me, I would never do it again. Never.
There's a walk to Julio.
I got a feeling some of the managers you had might have told you that before you made the decision.
Exactly. Don't ever do that again.
The catcher, Buck Martinez, would have come out and screamed it to you. Then your manager would have told it to you.
Yeah.
Then you would have decided for yourself.
And then about 3 or 4 players in the clubhouse would have said it to me.
So you think you would have gotten that message?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Need to get Julio going here a little bit on the base paths. He hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities, but Rangers to get their offense where it needs to be. Borbone has to get on and use his legs, use his speed.
Yep, that's his strength.
This one's hit high in the air from Kinsler. Back on the warning track to make the play is Melky Cabrera.
Didn't miss by much.
Nope.
Ball that goes up in the air, the fans are getting excited about now.
And here comes Mitch Moreland.
Good pitch to hit. Good swing at it. Just must have gotten underneath it a little bit.
And a quick chat at the mound as Bob McClure comes out. Ian Kinsler has already had a couple of hits in the game.
Did you play with Bob McClure?
Yeah,
Buzz?
Yeah, he was there a little bit toward the tail end of my career. Yeah, crafty left-hander.
Doing a pretty good job as pitching coach for them too.
Yeah, he is. Good solid instructor. Good solid coach. He's got some pretty good young arms to work with. Kansas City's pretty deep in developing young arms. They just haven't all gotten to the big leagues yet.
They're all out in the bullpen right now.
Yeah,
boy, they got some young guys out there.
Yep.
Talking to Matt Trainer before the game, he says, that Jeffress gets up and his first pitch is 97 miles an hour. He doesn't take even a second to warm up. First pitch, 97. Boom.
Handshake and a hiccup, and he's ready to go.
That's it. And there goes Julio down towards second base, sliding and safe at second.
Well, there you go, Buzz. That one's for you.
Thanks, Julio. I appreciate that.
First stolen base of the year.
That's hard to believe here on the 23rd of April.
And I know what Ron Washington's looking for is to see Julio get on base a little bit more. He hasn't had much success bunting. And then when he does get on, to make things happen.
Wash had him out practicing bunting earlier in the week.
You know, that's one thing, and Tom, you know better than I would, but it would seem like if you're a pretty good bunter, and Julio showed last year that he could bunt pretty well, that's not something that would leave you, would it?
No, he wouldn't think so.
I mean, it's not like your swing going downhill.
No. And, you know, Wash says he tends to bunt at bad pitches to bunt.
Waving a miss by Moreland.
If I were Julio, I would practice bunting every single day. Every day, at least for 3 or 4 minutes. Whether I had to do it in the cage off a pitching machine, whether I got a pitching coach to a coach to come out and throw to me.
Sort of play to your strength.
Well, I remember Rod Carew saying that's how he went about it. He was one of the best bunters I ever saw, but he said he worked on it a little bit every single day. And you know, if a guy that's that great a hitter chose to do it that way, I think that's a pretty good plan.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when to be the player that Julio wants to become, bunting has to be a huge part of it.
He tied for the league lead in bunt hits a year ago with 17 of them. He and Eric Ibar. And Julio was second to only Ichiro in infield hits last year. Now it's 2-1 to Mitch Moreland with Michael Young waiting on deck. Rangers leading at 3-2 now in the 5th. On the strength of 3 solo home runs. All of them hit to lead off an inning. The 2nd, the 4th, and now the 5th. And the crowd
is definitely not going to let him steal third base on him, that's for sure.
Crowd's getting frustrated with Chen.
That's okay. He's doing what he has to do in his mind.
And maybe Julio's getting in his head a little bit. There's another ball.
Yeah, one thing that's happening, Escobar, the shortstop, is really creating a huge hole in an effort to keep Bourbon close to second base. And that may play right into Mitch Moreland's hands if he can hit that hole.
Yeah, all he's got to do is hit a ground ball to shortstop, where he's playing right now.
And now he's got a hitter's count at 3-1. And there for a strike.
As a pitcher, you can't make a pitch with your shortstop right behind the runner. You've got to let him get back into his normal fielding position so that you have a defense that can help you out. That's just too big a gap to work with, and that's a pitcher's fault. Escobar diving in back there, and pitcher's got to give him an opportunity to back up and get into a good fielding position.
That's a walk to Mitch Moreland.
Well, what that walk does, with one out, barring a double play, it gives Young and Beltre both a chance to hit with men on base this inning.
Michael's hitless at this point in the game. Fly out and a strikeout. That back in the 3rd. Chen's now at 80 pitches on the afternoon.
Chen must have bet Julio $1,000 that he couldn't steal a base against him. Couldn't steal third against him. He's already stolen a base. Maybe it was 2 bases.
There's Jeffress out there throwing 97 in the pen, apparently.
2 bases in the same inning. That was the bet.
That's what it was. Yeah. I'm going to get on and steal twice in the same inning. Okay, I'll bet you $1,000.
This one is sliced towards right, hooking. Foul, out of play. Good crowd here for Easter Sunday. Not quite as big as the last couple of nights, but the Rangers are drawing so well. In fact, they've drawn over almost 415,000. Now they're over 415,000. And in 12 home dates, that's a club record.
I guess the other side of it, though, Buzz, is a lot of times pitchers, a manager will get mad at a pitcher for not holding the runner on. It's hard to get mad at him for doing your best to hold him on.
No, you're right. You're right.
There's the sidearm pitch again.
Right up the middle by Young. There's his first hit. The hit streak is alive, and the Rangers lead it 4-2 after Bourbon crosses the plate.
And the flip side of that is no matter how close you keep him, you still got to make a good pitch when you throw one.
Yep, and that sidearm pitch to the right-hand hitter just not working too well for him this inning.
And here comes Ned Yost.
Thank you very much. Watch out. Here it comes. Right back at you.
Jeremy Jeffress is headed toward the mound now as Bruce Chen's day is over. And the Rangers get their first run of the game that wasn't by way of the home run. We come back and talk about the rest of the 5th right after this. Bottom of the 5th inning, and it's time for our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. And this time they call for Jeremy Jeffress.
Well, he's one of the Brewers' best young prospects. #1 draft choice. He came over in the Zach Greinke trade. We saw him in spring training. Saw him in this series. He's got a great arm. Not sure if they're grooming him to be a reliever or if he's just getting his feet wet as a reliever. With his stuff, I guess he's a potential closer somewhere down the road. He threw one the other day, 99 miles an hour, and Beltre hit it back at him at about 110 miles an hour.
Lucky you got out of the way of that one.
The pitch before it was 97 and up in his eyes, and he fouled it straight back.
Yeah, for all you proponents of the radar gun, take that.
Yeah, really.
The ultimate scouting tool.
Did we have radar guns back when we were playing?
Only on the streets. I remember getting caught by a couple.
Did you ever have your fastball time?
No.
No?
No.
I can remember kind of right at the end. At our ballpark, we had one. Must have been mid to late 70s.
I take it back. I did, and the guy who timed it said I wouldn't even get a speeding ticket. That was after I got hurt. Right. No, that was after I got hurt. So yeah.
You seriously? Do you know how fast you threw it? In your prime?
In my prime, no, I don't.
No real.
No.
You know, as a hitter who faced you, I would feel very confident to say your fastball was in the mid-90s. I might be wrong on that, but that's what it felt to me trying to hit it.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't think any of us are really concerned with that.
No.
At the major league level, anyway. I know guys, coming up, we're all into velocity, always have been. That's kind of a big deal, but I think it was more important what you featured along with it and the command you had of it.
Walk to Beltre, and here comes Nelly.
I think way back before the radar gun, when scouts went out to scout young pitchers, pretty obvious that you could tell a kid that threw hard. You might not be able to put a number on it, but when Nolan Ryan threw in high school, you knew he threw as hard as anybody.
Yeah.
It seems now that some kids might slip through the cracks because they don't light up the radar gun enough for a scout to be interested in.
I think you're right.
You can see it with a lot of left-handed pitchers, for instance, who are 40th round draft choices that don't throw 90 miles an hour, that all of a sudden they're successful in the big leagues.
I know a couple of scouts that were scouting me when I was coming up through high school and stuff. They said what they would do when they were looking at a pitcher was take the two best hitters on the other club and watch how they reacted to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And make a report based on that. These kids are pretty good hitters, and they didn't look good against him. He's got something that's tough for a good hitter to handle.
That's a great point. That's a great point. There's probably been a guy signed as a hitter who wasn't scouted prior to it, who lit up a really good pitcher one day in front of the scouts.
Yep.
Big swing and a miss by Nelly there. Bases loaded with Rangers here.
That's one of the reasons I think the showcases have become so popular. It's because scouts get a chance to see the pitchers and the hitters against the very best competition.
Very good point.
Nelly's timing's off just a little bit. He's just behind the fastball a tick. Pitches that, when the little streak he's in now turns around, these pitches will be lined into the outfield. Right now he's struggling with them.
And he's behind 1-2. Down on strikes goes Nelly, his second strikeout of the game and the second out of the inning. And it's time for our Coors Light freeze cam, and we will freeze the ball at the pitch location of each of the 3 home runs that the Rangers hit. Napoli, Beltre down on a knee, and there you see the one to Blanco. Pretty much all right down the middle.
Yeah, that's pretty much why they say keep the ball away from the middle of the plate. You couldn't show it any better than that.
Here's Mike again. His home run came in the second inning and gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead. They lead it now 4-2 after a couple of runs here in the 5th.
Tell a lot of young pitchers, don't worry about it. Some of those get popped up, but also 3 of those in a row don't get popped up.
Not as many at this level get popped up.
No.
That's for sure.
No. And they make a real bad sound, too, coming off the bat. It's mercy, it's a terrible sound.
The 1-1. High for a ball. Now he's rearing back 96 miles an hour with that offering. And the 2-1 to Napoli is outside. And a little high. A little more activity out there in the Royals bullpen. That's Blake Wood popping the glove. I think if you hear that sound that we just heard and you're a scout, you pretty much know the kid's got something.
Yeah, especially when you're sitting by home plate and that's out in
Yeah,
left field
no
bullpen.
kidding.
Yeah, you hear it that far away, go get him right now.
And the 3-1. Swing and a miss to run things full at 3-2.
Nothing fancy right now. Pretty much, can he throw it for a strike? And if he does, can you hit it?
Napoli steps back in. Payoff pitch from Jeffress fouled away. Everybody on the move there on the 3-2 pitch. It's Beltre at first, Michaels at second, and Mitch Moreland down at third base.
Mitch might have been a little closer to home plate than he needed to be right there.
Just thought of that.
He's going to get lined into left field if he's not careful.
You better look out if he throws him a changeup and Napoli pulls him foul.
The other guys need to get a good head start so they can score on balls, but the guy on third doesn't have to worry about that. All you got to do is just get his body moving toward home plate.
And a walk. Walks in a run.
Tried to go with a breaking ball.
Frustration on the face of Ned Yost as Jeffress bounces it in the dirt.
It's a good start for Kansas City, and I think they're probably playing a little better than people expected them to. But over the course of a season with 5 rookies in the bullpen, there'll be some great performances, but there'll be some growing pains too as they try to build for the future. You like the talent, but that's an area of the game that's pretty tough if you've got a lot of inexperience.
Yeah, and you mentioned Bobby McClure. I think his job now is to take those guys with that great ability and teach them how to get the most out of that on any given day to get major league hitters out, not just babysit them, if you will.
Yeah,
this is where you have to do the job. You got to figure out what to do with your stuff on any given day that you take them out.
Yeah.
David Murphy is the 9th hitter in the inning for the Rangers. And he hits this one toward the gap in left center field. That one is down for a base hit. 1 run is home. Here comes another in the person of Adrian Beltre, and Mike Napoli is in sliding. A 3-run double by David Murphy. And the Rangers lead at 8-2.
Well, the Rangers have benefited from 1, 2, 3, 4 walks this inning. And every one of them is scored. Chen walked 2 of them, and Jeffress now has walked 2 of them. That's the big hit you're looking for. The way the ball's carrying today, 4-2, 5-2 is a close game. 3-run double makes it 8-2, though. A little bit of breathing room now.
And David Murphy comes through again.
Talking about those walks, Tom, remember the old Ranger pitching coach Art Fowler going out to the mound saying, throw strikes, Babe Ruth dead.
Yep, that was Art's message. Is that all you got to say, Art? Yep. But you know what? That pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
Yep, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing we saw from young Cody Epley yesterday. He just came out there and threw strikes.
Yep. Boy, that was a great outing.
Yeah, nice debut, huh?
Yeah. Happy for him. Happy for the Rangers, too, because that can pay some dividends here the next couple of weeks.
There's Cody out in the bullpen. Now Jeffress checks Murphy back to second. Way back when, Andres Blanco led off this inning with a home run.
That was this inning?
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Sure was. And now he grounds it to second base. Getz is up with it. And the 10th man of the inning is out, but he's already hit a home run in the frame.
That's your best inning of the year right there.
I know it. Typical, couldn't keep it in the ballpark.
Great stuff, boss. We appreciate you very much. There's the home run from Andres Blanco and the 3-run double from David Murphy. Don't forget to check out Buzz on Rangers Live right after the game. Ugly number there in the 5th inning. A 6-run frame for the Rangers, who take advantage of 4 walks, a home run, and a big 3-run double by David Murphy to lead this thing 8-2 on Easter Sunday. And C.J. Wilson starts Alex Gordon off with a strike. C.J. needs to go out there and do what we've seen so many Rangers pitchers do this year, have a good inning after that big frame.
Well, that's a good start. Go out and throw 2 straight strikes.
There you see at the beginning of the inning he was at 73 pitches. And the numbers are pretty good.
CJ struck out 9 in his last start, 7 already in this game.
And he's ahead of Gordon, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Inside to make it 2-2. Strike 3 called on the outside part of the plate, and down goes Gordon.
But to get a lot of these strikeouts, they've been looking, and he's made great pitches. Right on the knees, outside corner, outside corner. Not much to hit here. Got him to chase some pitches. And he's made some great pitches for called strikes.
And that was strikeout number 8 on the day. 9 is the season high for CJ, and that was his last time out. There's a strike to Butler.
That had to be right around the knees, right on the outside corner itself.
Perfect location. And he got Gordon looking. Alex now in risk of losing that hitting streak that's gotten to 17 games. And now it's 3 balls and a strike to Butler. Billy has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging against CJ. And he hits this one high in the air.
Tied him up. Good fastball. Got it in on him. Look at that ball carry.
Yeah, David Murphy had to drift back a little for it, but he makes the play. And there are 2 away.
Yeah, I guess the key for CJ today is he's kept Gordon and Butler quiet. 4 strikeouts and 6 at bats. They're 0 for 6 together. Cabrera too. A couple of strikeouts. He's 0 for 3.
Now here's Jeff Francoeur, who is officially 1 for 1 on the day with the home run back in the 4th inning and a walk in the 2nd. Now it's 2-0 to Frenchie. Got 18 RBI on the season now after the home run. That ties him for 2nd in the American League. And there's a strike from CJ and 27 hits. Wind is really swirling down there now and seems to be picking up just a little bit. There you see the direction and the intensity of the breeze. And now Francoeur is back in there. Here's the 2-2. Sliced foul. Nice play by the ball girl there.
Say it about 10 times a year. Our ball girls are the best in the American League. If we had a game, baseball game, between our girls and the rest of the league, no contest.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
We'd be the pre-tourney favorites.
We would dominate. Another foul from Francoeur. There's our other ball girl down the 3rd base line over there on the left field side of things. Most of them at least high school, if not college level softball players. And now the count runs full to Francoeur. One of the jobs of the ball girls is to warm up the corner outfielders. And they can really throw it, most of them. Strike 3 called, and Francoeur knew it. 2 strikeouts in the inning. That matches a season high for CJ at 9. And the Rangers lead at 8-2. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. jackpot worth $200 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Today, the Rangers are hitting for Bobby Lawler from Bedford, Texas. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Bobby Lawler from Bedford wins $25 grand. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. New pitcher for the KC Royals is Blake Wood. Another one of the youngsters out of the bullpen, making his 5th appearance. And another guy with that new prototypical size for a relief pitcher, 6'5", 230. And he starts Julio off with a strike. Rangers sent 10 men to the plate in the 5th inning and broke this Easter Sunday game open. Texas with a 13-11 record on Easter Sunday, so they've got a chance to improve upon an already winning record on the holiday. And Julio drew a walk as part of that 5th inning. This one chopped over the head of Wood. They're going to have to hurry, and they can't get him.
Well, if he can get it over the pitcher's head, he's going to beat it out. And same with the bunt. If he can bunt it by the pitcher, make the first baseman field it, more often than not, he's going to beat it out. Once that ball went over Wood's head, it was all over. Getz doesn't even try to throw it.
You watch him run even in slow motion, and it looks like he's in fast motion. Amazing how quickly he gets down the line. So it's a leadoff infield single for Bourbon. And now it's the top of the order, and Ian Kinsler. Had a bunt single in the 3rd and a regular old single in the 1st. And now he's ahead of Wood 2-0. Make it 3-0. These young Royals relievers come in having a hard time finding the strike zone. Take is on, and that makes it 3-1. In there for a strike to run things full at 3-2. Mitch Moreland waiting on deck. And the runner goes. Pitch is swung on and hit towards the gap in right center field. Francoeur races over to get it. And now Julio is headed back to first.
Well, Ian just missed a couple. He started off with a couple of base hits. And he flied out right in front of the Royals bullpen, about 385 feet. And Francoeur takes that one away right at the 377 sign.
And now it's Moreland who's batting in the 2-hole for the first time this season. See the concentration of Francoeur there, and here comes Mitch. With Elvis Andrus off today, Ron Washington needed a second place hitter, and he decided to break up all the lefties at the bottom of the order by moving Moreland up to second. He loves the way Mitch has approached virtually each and every at bat this season. Mitch has hit 2 home runs on the 5-game homestand. And he's hit safely in 8 of the last 9 games here at Rangers Ballpark. Still in search of his first hit today. He walked last time up and scored a run. Swing and a miss. And Mitch is down on strikes. And here comes Michael Young. He had an RBI single in that 6-run 5th inning. And the 0-1 from Wood. Grounded toward short. They go the easy way. And the side is retired. Rangers still with a big lead, though. It's 8-2. We're headed to the 7th. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Steel. For dependable trimmers and lightweight blowers, visit steeldealers.com. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And welcome back to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Happy Easter. It's the 7th inning now, and C.J. Wilson works against the designated hitter today, Wilson Betemit. He had an RBI single, or rather an infield single, I should say, and now it looks like he's going to follow that up with a double.
Boy, he put a charge in that low fastball. That looked like a tee shot. Betemit's having a good season. He's hitting over 360 now. One of those late bloomers. He came up with the Braves when he was very young. Then he moved to several different teams. Never really got a chance to establish himself. Last year with the Royals he did, though. He got a chance to get 260, 270 at bats, hit 14 home runs, knocked in some runs. Now he's playing every day. Got a chance to show what he can do. Maybe it'll be another Nelly Cruz for Kansas City.
Another one of those guys that Royals GM Dayton Moore, who came from the Braves organization, had some familiarity with. And here's Pena. Waves at that one. And he's behind CJ 0-2. Pena had a single in the second inning, but grounded out in the fourth. And that one's a little inside for a ball. Royals have lost 7 straight games here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, dating back to the 19th of April in 2009. Their last win here was predictably the 18th of April in 09, and Zach Greinke pitched that game. Greinke is today throwing a rehab start against the Omaha Storm Chasers, who are ironically the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. This one's grounded to short. Blanco has it there.
And Milwaukee's hanging in there too. They're at 500 right now. In fact, they're a game over 500. They won today in a division that's basically a 500 division, National League Central. So they'll be hanging right in there when Greinke's ready to come back.
And let's go down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, as you know, CJ was battling that hamstring issue for the most part of April. He says, though, in the last week or so, it really has become a non-issue. The only thing that remains is trying to build up the conditioning work and the strength in that hamstring. He said he thinks that'll take about 2 weeks. But if you do the math, the timeline works out where he had his best outing of the season last time out and seems to be following it up with another good one here tonight.
Yeah, he really is. Got a chance to surpass the strikeout total from last time. He's at 9 right now. This one's hit hard to left field, down for a base hit. That'll get a run home. Rounding third and coming home is Betamit, as Escobar goes in at second base. Now Mike Maddox will come out and have a chat with CJ and Mike Napoli.
100 pitches even for CJ. Brett Tomko is warming up in the bullpen.
Rangers starting pitchers have 12 wins already this year. That's first in Major League Baseball, and they're winning at a 75% clip. They're at 12-4 right now. That also leads all of Major League Baseball's starting staffs. And obviously there's a pretty decent chance that they'll get number 13 and go to 13-4. The other thing that the Rangers pitchers are doing so well, the starters, is lasting a long time. 102.3 pitches per start so far for the Rangers pitchers, the starters, and that's first in Major League Baseball too. This one's lined right up the middle, and another run will come home. There's Escobar scoring. Getz is on first base, and it's 8-4. And it's the top of the order due for the Kansas City Royals. Here's Aviles.
Aviles has hit the ball hard in this ball game. He lined one into left for a hit, hit a line shot right to Bourbon in center, and then he hit a line drive over the center field wall. He's 2 for 3 with a home run and hit the ball hard every time. The Royals are hitting the ball hard in this inning. 2 doubles and a hard hit single.
There's a strike. One out here in the inning. The wind continues to blow very hard, but hasn't been a huge factor in the game. Not like Friday night, where it seemed like it affected every ball, positively or negatively. And now CJ has surpassed that pitches per start average by the starters. It was 102.3 coming in. He's at 103, and he chases Getz back to first base.
Yeah, that's a pretty good average when you're talking how it ranks in baseball, when you consider the Rangers have 3 young starters. One of them, Ogando's never done it before. So I think it's just further emphasizes the Rangers. There we go.
Got him picked off. Or do they?
Well, there's Kansas City being aggressive on the bases, even though they're down by 4 runs. But they got away with it right there. CJ picked the runner off. Getz had a big jump, and so Mitch had to be accurate and quick with his throw. The throw was high. Blanco tried to make a tag as quick as he could, knowing he was going to have a tough time making the tag. He missed the ball, but that wasn't why he was safe. He was going to be safe anyway, I think. The only chance Blanco had was to just try to time it perfectly to make that tag.
And it's officially a stolen base, as this one's popped to center field.
That ball really carrying. Hit that right off the end of the bat.
And Bourbon gets it in, even as Getz moves on to third. Two out for Melky Cabrera.
But all along the last few years, the Rangers have talked about trying to push their starters deeper into games, and perfect evidence of that when you see the average pitches per start, that's exactly what Ron Washington is doing.
He's the brainchild of Nolan Ryan when he first got back to the organization. See if you can make these guys go a little bit farther. One more inning, a few more pitches. And now they're all accustomed to it. It was a somewhat dramatic and radical change at first, but now they expect it. And it's paying dividends for the Rangers. Especially with the way the bullpen is right now, the longer you get out of the starters, the better. Foul ball. And by that I mean the bullpen being a little depleted by injury. If you didn't hear yesterday, Nefi Feliz went on the disabled list with some inflammation in the right shoulder. So it's the 15-day DL. It's retroactive to Thursday. And there's the rest of the troops out there. Another foul by Cabrera, who's struck out twice already. There's Nefi. There's the other injured man. So you've got your reigning American League MVP and your reigning American League Rookie of the Year on the shelf right now. And yet the Rangers are on the verge of a sweep here. And the crowd feels it. Cabrera hangs tough.
The one thing we've seen in this ballpark, runs can score in a hurry. And days like this for sure.
And another foul by Cabrera. He's battling C.J. Wilson here in the top of the 7th inning. Rangers lead has been trimmed to 4. And the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. That's 10 for the day for C.J. Wilson. Most by a Rangers starter this year, and 2 off his career high. Rangers lead at 8-4.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise.
Eight 8-4 Rangers, bottom of the 7th, and baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. Go to ChevyYouthBaseball.com for a chance at winning a home field makeover from Chevrolet. First pitch to Adrian Beltre is in there for a strike. .20 RBI now on the year for Adrian after he led off the 4th inning with a home run. And he's now got 12 extra base hits. Let me show you the Coors Light cold hard blast. Yes, it was one of those one-knee wonders. Not quite as far as Mike Napoli's, but a long way out there, halfway up the seating area in left field. And now it's 2-2. Adrian's had a walk since the home run in the 5th inning. And this one is sliced out there into right field. Beltre rounding first and puts the brakes on.
One thing I've always admired about Beltre is how hard he plays, how hard he runs the bases. There were times in Seattle where he wouldn't be hitting the way he wanted to, but he'd play great defense and always run hard. Always plays hard. Plays hard defensively, diving for balls. Plays hard offensively. It'd be easy for a guy who's made a lot of money like he does. Maybe not to bust it every inch of the way, but he does.
And in so doing becomes one of those leaders by example. Not unlike what Michael Young does. Just watch the way these guys conduct themselves if you're a young player. And you learn how it's supposed to be done at the big league level. Now it's Nelly. He struck out his last time up in the 5th. And he's behind Wood 0-2 here.
Yeah, you know, you can really see how Nelly's struggling when you see how many fastballs he's missing. Last time against Jeffress, he missed 3. And when he's hitting good, that's not the case.
And another swing and a miss and a 3-pitch strikeout of Nelson Cruz.
You know, it's frustrating when you're a good hitter and you go through a streak like this. You see the ball, you swing, you don't hit it. You just start to think to yourself, what in the world is wrong? Why can't I hit this pitch? And you just have to keep battling, keep taking your BP. Trainer's going to come out and check with Blake Wood. Keep taking your BP, keep taking your swings, and eventually it turns around and you get into a hot streak and you forget all about it. You wonder how you ever were in a bad streak. And we'll see that from Nelly pretty soon.
Yeah, we chronicled some of the ups and downs of last season in our pregame show with Nelly Cruz. And now the conference at the mound is over. And Mike Napoli will step to the plate. And we'll show you some of those ups and downs from Nelly a year ago. 7 games where he was hitting the cover off. 15 where he wasn't hitting as well. Then a 9-game stretch of greatness. A 7-game. A 16-game. And then 35 to finish it off. So the mercurial nature of probably any hitter, but particularly Nelson Cruz last year. That followed his entire season.
Well, there's never been a hitter alive that didn't go through a bad streak. And no matter how bad the hitter in the big leagues, I'd venture a guess there's never been a bad hitter in the history of baseball who didn't have a good streak. And the difference between the great players and the average players is the great players have their long streaks last longer and minimize the bad ones. Slumps don't last as long and the streaks go longer.
Sort of like that 35 gamer at the end of the season last year for Nelly when it really counted.
Ooh, there's a rip.
And a foul from Napoli to make it 1-2.
That's a powerful looking swing right
boy,
there, boy.
Is it. Got the
I'd like
hips
to
out
see
in
where that
front.
one would have gone if he connected.
That is using the entire body. And a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Wood kept firing 95 miles an hour, and he got the best of that at bat.
Back-to-back strikeouts of Cruz and Napoli, and here comes David Murphy, although there goes Ned Yost. And that'll be it for Blake Wood as the lefty Murphy is headed to the plate. We'll come back and talk about the new pitcher and the Murphy at bat when we come back on Fox. exclusive coverage of the UEFA Champions League semifinals beginning on Tuesday with Schalke taking on Man U. That's Manchester United on Fox Soccer. Then on Wednesday, one of the world's greatest sports rivalries resumes as Barcelona battles Real Madrid on FX. Coverage of both games begins at 1 o'clock in high definition. And now we are back with Tim Collins on the mound and David Murphy at the plate. Collins, the youngest player in the league right now, at 21 years, 222 days.
I saw Tim Collins last night. I love the way this kid throws. He's not big. He's sturdy, but he can get it up there. He was not drafted. He's from Worcester, Massachusetts, and he was signed by J.P. Ricciardi when J.P. was, I guess, the general manager of the Blue Jays. And the reason being probably because J.P. is from Worcester.
He knew about him.
Yep.
He pops Murph up, and that retires the side. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, and the Rangers strand one, but they still lead it as we head to the 8th inning. It's 8-4 Texas. Have gotten to 8 runs. They've done it on the strength of some solo home runs in the second by Mike Napoli, a leadoff home run in the 4th inning by Adrian Beltre. And Andres Blanco led off the 6th with a solo home run of his own. The big blast of that 6-run 5th inning, I should say, was David Murphy's 3-run double. Blanco wound up batting twice in that 5th inning. And we've got a new pitcher to tell you about, and it is Brett Tomko.
A good opportunity for Brett to pitch in a meaningful part of a ball game. 8th inning, 4-run game. A lot of runs are being scored. All the guys out in the bullpen are going to have to contribute over the next couple of weeks while Felice is out. Last night, Cody Epley had his shot. Darren Oliver saved it. Good night for the bullpen. And Brett be trying to do the same thing today.
The last time Brett was on a major league mound was right here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And that was back in September of '09. He was pitching for the Oakland A's, and he ended up with a nerve injury. It just exploded on him in the 9th inning. He finished the game. And he hasn't pitched since at the big league level.
Well, it's one of those fortunate signings. He signed without an invite to Major League camp. While he was in the minor league camp, he was called up to participate in big league camp, but originally he wasn't.
Broken bat, and this one falls in front of Nelly. And Gordon extends his hitting streak. He's now at 18 games. And we go to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, you can bet the nerves are in full effect. Brett Tomko said he wondered if at times he would ever get back to this level. He got excited when he got called up, obviously, and now to be in the game, the anticipation, I'm sure, is great.
I saw progress here and there, and it was enough. This was enough to keep me going, to get back here and kind of come full circle and to get back to what I've done for the last 16 years. It's very special. Yeah.
He says he wanted to get back almost more than he wanted to make it to the big leagues in the first place. He says there's something about the game being taken away from you before you're ready for it to be. So he's glad to be back on the big league level.
Emily, thanks very much. Yeah, and he said, in addition to that, he was pitching the best he'd ever pitched in his career right at the end of his time before he got hurt. So he's like, I can't let it go now. That's the best I've ever pitched. Let me see if I can get back to that level. Well, he may not be quite there yet. He is back on a major league mound. And he's facing Billy Butler. Who fouls this one out of play. You missed the Tomko story during spring training. When he had that nerve injury, it basically paralyzed his arm in a bent position. So when he woke up the morning after that injury, couldn't figure out what was wrong. The Oakland trainers got him to our team doctor, Dr. Keith Meister, and Dr. Meister's the one who diagnosed the problem as a nerve injury. Took about 18 months to get it repaired and healed. Payoff pitch, slammed foul. And the 3-2 is fouled the other way. Out of play down the right side. Butler's still looking for his first hit of the day after an 0 for 4 yesterday. And he hits this one high and deep and foul.
A little bit of everything. Up and in, down and away. A couple of them caught the plate. Need ground ball to shortstop.
And the 9th pitch of the at bat is fouled off. Butler hangs tough against Tomko. And that's like finding the very special Easter egg in the egg hunt. A souvenir baseball to go home on a happy Easter. And there's that ground to shortstop.
Thank you.
Blanco, Kinsler, Moreland, 2 for the price of 1.
They made a great pitch to get it, too. Butler was having some pretty good swings at the fastball, and Brett threw him a good slider right where you want to throw it. Down and away. Perfect pitch. Reaches for it. Turns it over. A little ground ball to shortstop. And 2 quick outs. Good pitch right there by Brett.
And now it's Francoeur. He's had a homer in 2 official trips. Walked his first time up back in the 2nd. In there for a strike. Make it 2 balls and a strike to the Royals' 5th place hitter. And that one's chopped foul. The two Royals long hit streaks are alive. After the single by Gordon takes him to 18, and Francoeur's home run has him at 14 on the year. The Rangers still lead at 8-4. Struck him out. Francoeur wasn't as sure about this one, but he's down on strikes, and Brett Tomko has a pretty good 8th inning.
By the score of 8-4. John, time for the progressive fan of the game. You know, it is Easter Sunday, so it's good between the Royals Bunny or the Rangers Easter Bunny. Of course, not in this ballpark, Royals Bunny. Congratulations, the Ranger Easter Bunny, progressive fan of the game. The egg dunk right there. He's pumped. He's happy. There we go. And it's happening. The Easter Bunny for the Rangers picks it up. Way to go, guys. Good job. All right. Progressive fan of the game. Pumped about that. Sound like a light here.
Perfectly appropriate, Noxie, on this Easter Sunday to have the bunny become the fan of the game. I hope the Royals bunny is okay. Oh, he's getting up on his own power. Knox hits him again for good measure. Here comes Andres Blanco. That big windup from Collins. Now, while we were away for the break, Jeff Francoeur, we said, did not like the call on that strikeout. He was ultimately ejected from the game. He's been replaced by Mitch Meyer in right field. Brian Knight tossed Francoeur while we were away.
I've got a little scoreboard watching today. The Red Sox are doing a number on the Angels. They got a chance to beat them 4 in a row. They're headed 6-0 today. John Lester, Josh Beckett, Daisuke, John Lackey.
Blanco to center field, and a nice running catch by Cabrera.
All pitching great games against the Angels. That's at home, too. Red Sox came into Texas and didn't fare too well. They're going to Anaheim, and they're looking a lot different. Probably has something to do with the way the Angels are playing, too.
There are the standings in the East, and you see the Red Sox, who started so poorly, are climbing back up. They're in 3rd place and only a half game behind the Rays. Here's Julio. Boston put up 3 runs in the first inning of that game and have added 3. It's now in the 7th. And there's a couple of quick strikes to Julio. He had an infield single his last time up, and he chops this one toward short. Escobar can't beat him.
That just beating out the ground ball to shortstop right there. Walk and 2 infield hits for Julio today. He scored a run.
And he's over there at first base with 1 out, hit the 0-2 pitch, and wound up beating it out. It did take kind of a high hop, but not remarkably high.
Yeah, and the shortstop, Escobar, knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly. Not many guys in the league were going to beat that ball out.
Royals have one they think would, Gerard Dyson. We haven't seen him in this series. No. He's here, but we haven't seen him play yet. And it's the top of the order for the Rangers. Ian Kinsler. A couple of hits for him, followed by a couple of hard hit flyouts in the 5th and 6th innings. And the strike evens things up at 1-1. Rangers are 17-7 at home against Kansas City since 2005. Chance to make it 18-7. And there's another strike to Ian, and we're all even at 2-2. To get to 17-7 in that 6-year duration, the Rangers have won 7 in a row here now, counting the 2 this weekend against Kansas City. It's their longest win streak against the Royals at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington ever. There goes Bourbon, and Ian fouls it out of play. Rangers' 9-2 start here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington is the 2nd best ever. They were 10-1 in their first 11 back in 1996. And this one is sliced down the right side and foul. So it stays 2-2, and the little guy beat the big guy with the glove, it looks like.
Big guy might be his dad.
Yeah. He looked disappointed, though. I mean, maybe he wanted to beat the kid. He's like, oh, I can't believe he got it instead of me.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. And now this one is sliced down the right field line and just foul. Myers tracks it down out there. Take a look at how close this was to being a fair ball. And the reaction from Ian. Yeah.
Ian's had a good day. He's had 2 hits and then 2 fly balls to the warning track. 1 to left and 1 Jeff Francoeur ran down in front of the Ranger bullpen. Both of them hit pretty well.
Francoeur has been replaced in right field by Mitch Meyer. As Jeff got tossed for arguing about a called 3rd strike. Bourbon is going, swing, and a miss. Ian is out, but safe at second base is Bourbon.
Jeff had an argument with Brian Knight earlier in the game on a check swing. Didn't feel like he'd swung. Yet the call went against him. So that might have been building a little bit.
So 2 steals in the game, 2 steals on the year now for Julio Bourbon. And it's Mitch Moreland. .90-mile-an-hour pitch from Collins is fouled straight back. Special welcome to a special group out in one of the suites in the center field office building. Wish with Wings are out there. Great organization from Arlington.
Oh, I think he got fooled on that one. He thought he was getting a fastball and he got a curveball. Better that than the opposite.
Yeah.
You're looking for a curveball and you get a fastball. You get it right in the mask. Whoops. Pretty good job right there,
yeah.
Pena.
And now a quick chat to make sure we don't have our signals crossed.
It's a scary feeling for a catcher.
Time for our Brown hand center, great hands play of the game. And when this batter, Mitch Moreland, was out in the field in the second inning, look at him field the line drive and then complete the double play as they catch Jeff Francoeur. And that ended the inning for C.J. Wilson. C.J., who finished his 3rd career game with 10 or more strikeouts. He had 10 today.
Well, Melky Cabrera's getting booed. The ball came out of the Ranger bullpen. He picked it up and threw it back, and the fans booed him for not throwing it to them.
Now it's 3-1 to Mitch Moreland. And he walked him. Way outside to Mitch. And take a look here. We've got 4 more games on this long homestand with the Blue Jays coming to town for 4 in a row. And look at Bautista. 7 home runs, has him first in the league. The average first in the league. On base, yeah, first in the league. And 19 runs. Oh, he's second in the league in that category. All of those 4 games can be seen right here on Fox Sports Southwest as the Rangers have knocked Collins out of this one, and Aaron Crow is headed from the bullpen and into the mound. And we'll break for the pitching change with an 8-4 Rangers lead. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, but the Rangers have a couple of runners on base in the person of Mitch Moreland at first after a walk. Julio Bourbon is at second after an infield hit and a stolen base, and here's the new pitcher, Aaron Crow.
Yeah, Crow's pitching well. He's been in 8 games already. 12 strikeouts in 11 innings. Opponents are only hitting 179 against him. He's the #1 draft choice for Kansas City.
Like Ian Kinsler before him, a former Missouri Tiger. And as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's the first Missouri Tiger ever to make it all the way to the big leagues for the Kansas City Royals. And he's ahead of Michael Young. No balls and a strike. Pena does a good job keeping that one in front of him. Michael with an RBI single in that 5th inning. And this one's grounded to short. Escobar to Getz. And they go the easy way, and the side is retired. Rangers still lead at 8-4. We're headed to the 9th. Ballpark Suites offer classic Texas hospitality for entertaining clients. Celebrating a special occasion or relaxing with friends, suites are still available for the weekend of May 6th through the 8th when the Rangers take on the Yankees, believe it or not. And to watch in style, call 972-RANGERS or visit texasrangers.com/suites. It's about the only way you can get into that Yankees series is to get a suite. Most of the tickets for that one are already gone. After that Toronto series, Rangers will head to Oakland and Seattle, and then it's back home for that 3-gamer with the Yankees the first weekend in May.
Good curveball right there from Brett. Threw the nice slider to get Butler to hit into a double play. And there's a changeup. So you see all 4 of Brett's pitches. Got a fastball, 89, 91-ish, right around in there. Good slider, good curveball, good changeup. Good assortment of pitches. Arthur Rhodes warming up just in case.
The 1-2 to Bettamy. High for a ball to even things up at 2-2.
Darren Oliver got the opportunity to close out yesterday's game. He's pitched 2 days in a row coming into today, so everybody speculated that It would be Arthur's turn to close out the game. Not a save situation right now, though.
Ollie would like to see Arthur get a save soon so that Darren won't have the record as the oldest pitcher to save a game in Rangers history. Arthur's a few months older, so. Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Betamete. And let's say hi to Joe Gum over there at the Rangers Live set.
Hey guys, good afternoon. We are ready for Rangers Live coming up momentarily to break down this win. We're going to get reaction from Ron Washington and several of the players, including a breakdown of C.J. Wilson's team. We're going to find out why we haven't received any chocolate or eggs from the fans. $2 billion worth sold this weekend in Easter candy. Oh, also, how about that home run from Blanco? We're going to talk about it all coming up on Rangers Live.
Sounds great, Joe. We'll look forward to that. Best post-game show you can find right after this one. And now it's 1-1. Pena. Brett Tomko has new major league life, back on a major league mound. And that one's high and away to make it 3-1. In there for a strike to run it full at 3-2. That last victory that Tomko got, that shutout victory of the Rangers back in September of '09, was the 100th of his career. And the payoff pitch is in there for a strike.
Pena knew it. He was walking away before the umpire called it. 3 straight strikeouts for Brett Tomko. Last night it was Cody Epley coming up from AAA and pitching 2 nice innings. And Brett, if he can get one more, he's got a chance to do the same thing. Good shot in the arm for the Ranger bullpen last 2 nights.
Exactly what they need, and one of the reasons Ron Washington was confident about going with a bullpen by committee. And that strikeout was the 13th of the game by a Rangers pitcher. C.J. Wilson had 10 of them. It's a season high 13 strikeouts in one game by Rangers pitching. But now it's 3-0 to Escobar. That's in there for a strike on take. Escobar goes to 3-1. And that's hit hard and into left field. A 2-out single for Escobar. And it'll bring up Chris Getz. Getz had a single his last time up back in the 7th inning. That was off CJ. CJ Wilson with 10 strikeouts on the day, the most by a Rangers starter this year, the most he has accomplished this year. And that's in there for strike 1 to Getz. Runner goes and the pitch is fouled out of play. Back to first goes Escobar. Many in this crowd of 28,284 now on their feet. And the 2-strike pitch. Look at the grab by Blanco. They can't get him, but what a play just to catch that ball.
That was some kind of play. You're not going to get gets on anything like that. He gets down the line from the left side in a hurry. The game becomes a save opportunity when the tying run is in the on deck circle, which is the case right now. Arthur Rhodes is warming up, and with a right-hand hitter at the plate, looks like Ron Washington will choose to stick with Brett right here with Aviles the hitter.
Diving stab made by Andres Blanco.
Cabrera's the next hitter. He's a switch hitter. Gordon's a left-hand hitter. Cabrera so far this year has hit much better left-handed than he has right-handed. So you would think that this would be Brett's last hitter, just guessing along with Ron Washington.
And Brett's hoping it'll be the last hitter of the game. Starts Aviles off with a strike. Mike's got a single and a homer in 4 trips. Outside to even it up at 1-1.
You could tell from Brett's interview with Emily that not only was this a huge accomplishment for him, that and something of which he's very proud, but he's very emotional about it as well. I think nothing would make him feel better than to close this inning down by himself and end the game with him being on the mound.
It would be the storybook ending to his comeback, but just the beginning of what he hopes will be a long stay here at the major league level. 1-2. Hard toward left field. And gone.
He got ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. He'd thrown a great slider to get him to swing and miss, and then hung one. And Aviles has been swinging the bat great today. Took advantage of the hanger and hit it out of the ballpark.
And suddenly it's a 1-run game, and here comes Ron Washington. Wash will go to the veteran. It's the first career multi-home run game by Mike Aviles. He had a solo shot in the 5th, and that 3-run blast. And it's 8-7 Texas. We're back right after this. His lead has been trimmed to a slim 1. It's 8-7 now. And Ron Washington goes back to the committee of closers.
I feel bad for Brett. He was right on the verge of getting through 2 innings. He'd struck out 3 straight hitters when Escobar and Getz had singles. And then he was ahead of Aviles and just made 1 bad pitch, that hanging slider, and he hit it out of the ballpark.
And there's a strike from Arthur Rhodes to Melky Cabrera. They'll even it up 1-1. There's a strike, and Arthur Rhodes, who hasn't had a save since 08 with Florida, has a chance to get one against the KC Royals and become the oldest pitcher in Rangers history to record a save. Fouled away. Arthur told us yesterday there would be no mental difference approach-wise for him between the 8th and the 9th innings. And the 1-2 to Cabrera. High and away to make it 2-2. Royals down to their last strike, and Cabrera stays alive with a foul ball to the backstop.
That's some kind of danger zone up there. High fastball. And a good swing at it. Just fouled it off. Cabrera struck out 3 times against CJ in this ball game.
And he popped out to Napoli his other timeout. That one's a little inside. So it's a full count on the Royals' second place hitter, Melky Cabrera. 28,284. Want to celebrate Easter with a sweep of the Kansas City Royals. And this one is smashed. Foul. And we'll do it again. Rhodes to Cabrera, the payoff. Swung on to Blanco. There you go, boys. Rangers hold on to win it. Arthur Rhodes gets the save. C.J. Wilson the win. And the Rangers sweep the Royals. 8-7 was the final today. On a great way to celebrate Easter with a sweep of the Kansas City Royals.
Arthur made a good pitch right there to Cabrera. Cabrera's not up there trying to walk, that's for sure. He was going to swing the bat. And he had some good rips at some high fastballs. And then that pitch, Arthur keeps it right down around the knees. Good fastball down. Not much Cabrera could do with that pitch. It was a strike. But top it to shortstop. And Blanco makes the play, and Arthur gets a save. Back-to-back saves for the 40-year-olds. Darren last night and Arthur tonight.
Arthur becomes the oldest pitcher in Rangers history to record a save. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Rangers Live is headed your way next. Joe Gum, Steve Busby standing by with great post-game reaction to an 8-7.